Greetings, team. Welcome back. Here's something I want you to think about doing to bolster your Agile resume. We'll talk in the future a bit about certifications, and I've spoken in the past about doing interviews. But your real calling card is your resume. That 1 or 2 pages that you keep, whether it's on social media, whether it's on the web, or whether it's on paper. Your profile, your list of accomplishments and skills, is the first thing that recruiters and employers look at when considering a coach or scrum master. And as we all know, in the early days when you have no experience, it's hard to get experience. So one of the best favors you can do yourself is to start collecting, documenting, and marketing whatever experience you have in any domain so that it demonstrates agility and leadership, even on paper. So here's one of the mistakes that a lot of younger people make, or a lot of people who don't maybe pay as much attention to the quality of their resume make, which is just documenting your experience, right? So you'll list all the companies you work for, and you'll traditionally list all the things you were responsible for. And I've yet to see a resume that says, hey, I was responsible for this, but I screwed it up, or I sucked at that. Like, it's all resumes are going to try to paint the prettiest picture of your performance in a given role and a given title. And one of the real bummers about living in, 2019 or whatever year you happen to be listening to this in, is that years ago, when you put a reference down on your resume, someone could really speak for you. Someone could really talk about your character and the quality of your work. And these days, references are largely limited to just confirming that you existed in a particular place and time. So your references are not going to help you as they once might have. Here's one thing that will help your resume stand out from all of your competitors. Starting today, start documenting every experiment that you run. So what did you do as an Agile leader, or just as an Agile teammate, to make Agile more successful? Did you single-handedly create a team creed? Were you responsible for enforcing definition of done? Did you try taking your team out to an escape room? Did you create some kind of executive newsletter or video series? What did you do to try to make your Agile team more successful? Now here's the important part. If you don't do these things, start doing them. So your future career success depends on being able to tell stories about things you did that made your team and your company, your client, more successful. So start gathering that data today by running experiments. If you don't know what experiments to run, you're going to have to back up, read, listen to this podcast, listen to other podcasts, research, do a web search, talk to other people, something to start gathering ideas for experiments you can try. Now, the other part of this is to document the outcome. Did this change things? And if so, how so? And then what you do is start filtering out the ones that don't work or the ones that didn't stick, and really shine a light on the 4 or 5 that did stick. And you do this for every job that you go to, every contract you're on, every new employer that you get. Make sure you start running these experiments and documenting the outcome. This becomes really great descriptive content for your resume. It's so much more powerful than saying my responsibilities included reporting to the executive every 2 weeks. That stuff's table stakes. We expect to see that. But it's so important to shine a light on the times that you endeavored. With your team or independently, it really doesn't matter. It's not about taking credit for great ideas. It's about being part of a leadership spirit in the Agile team room and beyond that is attempting to tune performance, to discover what works and what doesn't, and to crack the code of making Agile stick and scale. Everything that you can write about real experiences you had not only makes your resume stand out, but guess what? Makes for great, engaging, original, unique conversation in the interview. This one's a force multiplier, guys, so it's up to you to try it, to implement it, and see what kind of difference it makes. Let me know. You can reach out at badassagile.com, or you can find me on Twitter at badass_agile. And on Instagram at badassagile. I'll see you soon. Thank you for tuning in. Meantime, stay badass.